I asked, Daniel Levin told. Here we are with Daniel Levin, writer and co-producer of Spandex the Musical, which is going to be playing in New York City from May 10th through the 26th at a brand new theater in Midtown, 777 Theater. And who or what inspired you to become a playwright?
Well, let's see. I always liked to write, and I wrote lots of stories when I was in elementary school and middle school, and I loved when people laughed or whatever at the stories. And then I acted. I was in shows, but I stopped getting roles, fewer and fewer roles, high school, and then college. They put me in the dance chorus of Jesus Christ Superstar, and I was actually promoted to leper #2. So I did have a leper solo, but I just felt like if I was not getting the roles in college, moving to New York, just didn't seem like. So I thought, okay, but I like to write, and I wanted to kind of stay involved with theater, and actually wrote and directed a play my senior year in college, and that was amazing. I mean, miserable, and all the ups and downs, but also it actually gave me more of a thrill than even being on stage. And
now your play, Spandex the Musical, is about to make its New York debut at 777 Theater.
Yes.
What made you want to write the show?
Annie Grunow is my co-book writer, and she came to me with the YouTube clip, the now infamous YouTube clip of the 1987 Crystal Light National Aerobics Championship hosted by Alan Thicke. And she basically was just how is this not a musical? How has no one done this yet? And I just said, well, let's write it. Let's do it. And she is not a writer. She's an archivist. Okay. But she said, okay. And so went along with it. And so it was kind of fun. She brought some things to it that I wouldn't think of as a traditional writer. And then for her, she liked kind of seeing the process. She loved the transitions. We were always talking about transitions and devices. And, she loved that. She sort of liked seeing how a show was put together. So originally we used actual 80s songs. Once we knew we were going to do a production, it got recommended to me by so many people that just, why don't you do these original? Why not do original songs? And I'm trained to, write original, and I like original shows much better. And then they started saying it's even more marketable if it's original. It's you don't have them attached to all of these different, and just more organic and part of the show. Mm-hmm. So the music director from the reading that I did with Spandex, Julian, who also went to Tisch, we both went to the graduate musical theater writing program at NYU, but separated by 10 years, even though we're the same age. But he had just come out of this program, and he was my MD for the reading, and I'm just why don't we just write our own songs?
That's good. What made you want to partner with Crunch as opposed to another gym?
Well, we didn't really, first of all the gyms aren't lining up to, they don't want to just go sponsor musicals. So but the Crunch story is a really, really happy one with this. It was basically, we had a reading in June of 2012. My girlfriend Casey had contacted Crunch Gym, where she was a member. We thought that would be fun, that tie-in. And two gals came from Crunch, from their PR department, to the reading. And they, out of everyone who saw it, they really followed up and just said, are no judgments. Their motto is no judgments. And our show is kind of about if it has any actual societal value, it's about, which I think it does, but it's about just not getting skinny, but, getting to the size that you want to be and owning your body. And Crunch is really about that. First of all, they do support the arts. They're a little bit funky, They are an artistic, coolly designed place. And then they really identified with that no judgments idea. And so I think they saw it as an opportunity to both help out the show, to really help for the arts, and also to associate themselves with kind of a message that lined up with their messaging.
Thanks for watching. For more Call Me Adam, visit callmeadam.com or follow me on Twitter at callmeadamnyc or facebook.com/callmeadamnyc.